my pockets, unless you broke for money count. Carry money to.
I'm back. Anyways, today is another day my limit order did not get filled, so it's gonna be a quick recap, bro. I'm sorry for the disappearance, low key. Not really disappearance. I mean, like, when was the last time I uploaded? Hold on. The last time I uploaded was bro, my Wi-Fi is so slow, so I'm on my freaking hotspot, bro. I think that's why my trade didn't get filled. Um, let's see. 4 days ago. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was no trade yesterday, and Monday there was no trade at all. Monday as well. Today was the only day where my setup was pretty good, and we ended up banking, but I didn't get filled. So let's talk about it. Coming in onto today, let's take a look at my bias. Like, what was my bias coming in today? Because that's the main thing, right? So we had this new day opening gap from last night, and if we look here on Nasdaq, it looked like on Nasdaq we 80% filled it, 80% filled it, honestly. Well, more like 50% on the hourly, but if we look on the higher time frame, it's more or less than 80 right there. And on ES, we filled it all away and some. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, since we just did that on ES, there's no good reason I would see why price would even want to come back and even fill this gap even more, since we already filled it on ES and these are correlating pairs. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, bet. Let's work with what we got on the hourly. On the hourly, what did we have? We had midnight open. As soon as midnight open, what did we do? We ended up creating a gap that we ended up disrespecting, but however, we did not break above the swing high. So we were still in bearish order flow, right? However, still disregarding, not disregarding, however, still, whatchamacallit, still having this gap, we were still in bearish order flow. And if you do want to argue that, okay, no, we were in bullish order flow because we inversed this gap, buddy, we did not break above the swing high. And if you still wanted to argue that, if we go on bar replay around the 8 o'clock candle, price literally broke structure. Price literally broke structure below all these swing lows. So even then, we were filling in this gap, but we already broke structure again to the downside more. So if you want to argue that we were in bullish order flow, we were still in bearish order flow coming in the market open. And with that in mind, on the 4 hour, I mean 4 hour was pretty. The draw was pretty clear. I mean, not draw. The everything in mind was just looking really clear to me, at least for me. What did we have? We had the gap fill, and then we have prices balance each other out with the retraces on the 4 hour, and that is exactly what you need when you're bearish. You want to have a retrace before price continues in the direction that it's going. So with that in mind, if we scroll down to the 15 minute, 15 minute and 5 minute is where I really based all my draws and my imbalances at. We had this 15-minute gap, and the reason why I wasn't really not confident, but I knew, there was a good high percentage, high probability that price was not gonna want to manipulate up until these highs to take them out. Why? Because price is already balanced. If you look at what we're doing, price was already balanced on the 15 minute, on the 30 minute, even on the hourly. So I genuinely saw no reason for price to even come up and take out any 15-minute or, higher time frame draws and liquidity on the upside before continuing on to the downside. And my draws and liquidity on the downside were honestly pretty simple. We had these equal lows on ES that I knew price was going to want to pull towards, and on top of that, we had all these lows stacked against each other. We had relatively equal lows, Asia lows, London lows, all these lows stacked against each other. Relatively equal lows and equal lows are high probable draws and liquidity. And with the way order flow was aligning it, that was just my draw and liquidity. And with that, we scroll down to the 15 minute. Like I said, everything was already balanced. Like, there was no need to do anything. We were in this order block. We were in the order block. We had this gap that was not balanced. So coming into market open, I had marked out equilibrium of this range right here because we were making this swing high, and price was literally in this equilibrium range. Even on the 5 minute, we came in, filled in this 15-minute imbalance, and that was like the last thing that I really needed. Well, the first and last thing that I really needed to see before I scaled down to the 5 minute and 3 minute to get the show rolling. And yeah, 15 minute came. What did we do? We market open, came up, filled in this gap to literally, like I said, balance price. Because whenever we balance price, there's no need for price to continue in in the opposite direction where it's going. If we're manipulating to the upside, we're manipulating to the bull side to balance out price. There's no reason why we're gonna go and sweep liquidity there again, right? Because we already balanced this. There's no need to, there's no need for price to literally just out of nowhere, just come in, fill this, and then boom, take this out, take one out, and then continue. No, no, we already okay. We already filled in this. So for but this and the way order flow was aligning it, how price was already literally just balanced. We're still gonna continue to deliver. And with that in my idea, I was like, okay, bet. Let's go down to the 5 minute. Let's get down and dirty. Pause. And yeah, I was looking at both indexes for this one. On the 5 minute, what did we have on ES that made me that made me base my trade on Nasdaq? We had this gap that we made on ES, right? We had this gap that we made on ES, and on top of that, we also had this gap on the 3 minute. So it's a gap on the 3 minute as well as the 5 minute gap as well right here. There's the 3 minute gap. On Nasdaq, we did not have a gap at all. So what I was doing, I wanted ES on the 3 minute to inverse this gap before I whatchamacallit, before I even considered going on Nasdaq. So what did we do? I waited for the 3 minute to inverse. However, we didn't get the inversion, but price was just wicking so below here. I was confident that we were gonna invert it, just the way how price was like barely holding up with this 5 minute. So with that being in mind, I just waited again and until we got the actual inverse, which was around 9:45, 9:40, though 9:48ish is when I scrolled down to the actual like 5 minute. Oh, excuse me, I lied. Never mind, I wasn't lying. I'm tripping. Anyways, we inversed this, but with the way price was wicking, I was actually like really confident that I wasn't gonna actually have to wait like fully. And by the time I was on the 5 minute, we literally had inversed this at 9:50. Um, we inversed the 3 minute at 9:48. So by then, I was like, okay, bet. All I really just need is just this to be inversed, because there was an opportunity that price can inverse the 3 minute, and then the 5 minute all of a sudden just pulls back up. That could be a possibility. So I was like, okay, bet we're gonna inverse this as well, and then from there I just look for a 1 minute entry, and from there, what did we do? I scaled out to the 1 minute. I looked for a 1 minute entry. My 1 minute entry was literally on Nasdaq because Nasdaq was just moving way more fluid. Sure we didn't have the gap, but we, however, made this 5 minute order block right here. So with that in mind, instead of the gap, we made this 5 minute order block, and I was like, you know what? I'm calm with that. Scale down to the 3 minute. What did we have? We had a 3 minute retrace into the order block. So I was like, okay, bet. What did we also have on the 1 minute? What did we get on the 1 minute? We got a 1 minute retrace into the 5 minute order block, but we also made another 1 minute order block right here after we closed below. What do we do from there? We ended up retracing as well, and I set my limit order for literally, I think like right here, 18,598, or literally like right on the line. As soon as we had this displacement, I wanted my not order, my limit order to be placed, and bruh, I literally sent, not signal, but it was literally like while the trade was running, like I literally set my limit order, and I just did not get like my limit order just did not get hit, and I was actually so like, I was actually so like upset. I was like, bruh, my limit order just never got filled, and I was like, bruh, there's just no way that really happened. Yes, that was a Discord with more trades, but I was like, bruh, and this whole trade pretty much ran without me, bruh. It was pretty unfortunate how like everything was right, the way order flow was aligning. We delivered to the draw and liquidity so clear, like it was really clear. Price started retracing up into these price started retracing into this gap to balance it out, I guess, before price continued on going, and that was perfectly fine. Honestly, that's literally what the 5 minute was doing. 5 minute was retracing up a little bit before we continued our delivery down. Sooner rather than later, we ended up delivering down literally 10 minutes later. Our TP was hit, and from there, yeah, it was a 2.54 RR that I literally missed out on. Honestly, I probably was not gonna close partials. There was nothing here to even like take partials on. I usually target like some sort of resting liquidity for a 1R at least so I can secure that. But I was genuinely like, I don't know. I was honestly gonna go pretty heavy in on this trade. Like as you can see right there, I went in with like 2 contract sizes. I was planning to go pretty heavy because like drawn liquidity was just genuinely so clear. My stop loss was above this order block because this is where my trade would have been invalidated if we literally just turn this order block into a breaker. If we turn this order block right here into a breaker and then we just continued on higher, but I was honestly pretty confident in the way we were delivering that I I do want these London lows taken. We already took out previous day lows. And then with that, we created a 15-minute SMT. After creating the 15-minute SMT, which literally causes a reversal, I had so many people literally ask me, like, why didn't we not come down for Asia lows or these relatively equal lows or yada yada yada? And I'm like, if price is not price, no, yeah, price, what's call it? If price delivers to a drawn liquidity first and not at the same time, or like not at relative times as the other index, and as you can see, one index is going to be lagging. Um, believe it or not, an SMT and a reversal is going to be formed from that. And what did I say? I not even say, like, what do we see here? We had, what did price do? Price came down, swept out London session lows. With that, we ended up creating a 15-minute SMT. And with that SMT being created, what did price do? We triggered a reversal back up into the highs. So with that, that is why, if you ever wonder why price doesn't like stop you at a break even after you hit like your main take profit and you like hold for like another like session low. Main reason why, if another index is lagging and we hit the draw on another index first, more chances than not we're gonna cause an SMT, which causes that reversal. Because after we hit a key level, we're reversing off to another drawn liquidity. But yeah, in the long run, I do think price would want to come down for these Asia lows. Um, because we're still respecting bearish order flow. Like, I mean, unless like the 1 hour break structure, and then I guess we come for these lows. I mean, these highs. If the hourly break structure to bullish, I do think we'll fill in this gap all the way. But other than that, my long-term bias is set for these Asia lows still. But I mean, yeah. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. This was a really quick recap. Order literally just didn't get filled. I was like, bro, this is literally my message, by the way. Like, if no one believes me, this was literally my message. I literally took this on phone because my computer was not working, and I was like, damn, bro. Uh, that's pretty unfortunate. I don't even know if I should count that as a win, bro. But I'm gonna count it as a win in my book because it's like, bro, like everything was spot on. The order just did not get filled. So I think I'm 5-2 for the month. 5-2 or 5-3 so far, or 5-2. I think 5-2 actually. I'm gonna have to look at my old videos again. But um, yeah. Oh no. I think like 5-3 or 5-4, one of those two. But yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. The news for today, we had Powell speaking, which is why I was actually pretty patient, unless like it was pretty clear where we were gonna deliver to. But other than that, we had like all these news. These didn't really do anything, to be honest. These didn't do anything at all. My trade was already over by like 10 something. So I mean that 10:30 news was like pretty nothing to me. Um, trade was literally over at 10 o'clock. We literally entered off the trade as soon as the macro started, bro. So as soon as the macro started, bro, it was game over. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna start to upload way more on my TikTok again. I've been slacking for the past couple of days. I don't know why. I've been like a slump. But we're getting back in that grind. Like, not really back in that grind. I've been on that grind. Like, I'm still uploading every single day. It's just not like 5 videos, 4 videos, 5 videos a day as it used to be. It's just like 1 or 2. But I'm gonna get back to the 4 or 5 and start pushing on more content. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video if there's a trade. But yeah, peace.